All right, well, welcome back, everybody. We're going to be getting into the next map shortly. And, yeah, it's Ascent coming up here, which is obviously not a choice of NRG, just losing the map that they picked, 13-1, which was Lotus. Now, historically, you might be wondering as well, I mean, there's a question that's going to be raised and was, I suppose, asked, you know, what was the idea behind NRG picking that? It didn't go their way. The only thing you can do now is look forward.
That you can. For G2, this is another map they are yet to lose. They've played it twice this year with their new Waylay comp and have been great on it both times. John in particular, he has been feasting here on Ascent. But for NRG, first time they're playing this in 2025, so a chance for a new look.
Yeah, and we don't know what they're going to be going for. Finesse-led teams have actually been a little creative on this map.
2022, right?
Well, now, yeah, I mean, I was going to bring up the fact that they have played Euro on this map and that kind of stuff before, but this is actually just the most Barry basic comp that you could possibly run on Ascent.
Whoa, Josh. They're playing Cypher instead of Killjoy. It's very exciting.
Right. This is kind of last year, 2 years ago kind of meta. It feels like there is actually more innovation that you can get done. For anyone who's, I mean, less familiar with VALORANT, I guess, Ascent, the meta has basically just been stuck the same way for years. Everybody has played the Jet, the Sova, the KO, the Omen, but now we are finally seeing enough meta diversity with the compositions that people are starting to go outside of that and playing stuff like the Teho here, playing the Waylay, playing double Sentinel comps. There is a ton more diversity that you can tap into, and this feels like it's lacking a bit of creativity. It's not that it's going to be terrible, probably, but not accessing anything super interesting off the agent select.
But if you want it to be exciting, watch Jawgemo when G2 gets into the attacking side here. He has been so good on this map thus far, and already pistol round, he's set up towards B. They have a lot of looks diving into market, diving onto the site anchors here. This guy's explosive.
And Matters about to be getting a taste of it, I think. You can see G2 gearing up here onto the pistol. Looks like a slow beginning. They're all just trying to hide intent away from a potential early dart. Anything that might come their way. 10 seconds pass. Looking to send it further forwards here. And there it is. Not anticipating that Matter was cut up close into the corner. That was just, oh, the dash. Okay, straight into the wall, but lucky to be alive. And he still scurries away to the safety of the site. Ethan is going to be able to supplement with a bit of covering fire.
Very early read here from Valen as well. If things went wrong, he's gone and taken A main control. So he's offering his team an ability to pivot back. So things are not devastated just yet for G2 on the pistol round, but they're forced to call an audible because NRG's original setup was pretty good.
Smoke's blooming. Salva's going to be covering away here, but a nice little perch for Som to sit on. Easily takes Trent out of the fight already. Still the plan going to be going down. Needs to be some level of coverage there from G2, making sure that there's no repush in through tree for now, but they need a few picks and they need it now. That paranoia just not quite connecting. Som fully cleaning them up. And Matter towards the end there as well. So a pistol round win for NRG, a big deal for them.
Those are the players you need coming online for NRG if they're going to rally back at all in this series. Mata, who has been great even in this team's failures across Kickoff and Stage 1, and Som as well, who's been looking right up there alongside Valen as one of America's best controller players. They were pretty quiet that first map, but taking control here on the pistol.
It was an unusually quiet map from Som. He's almost always up towards the top of the scoreboard for this team. And you see him up there here on the pistol. It was a good defensive setup. They had Mata pushed deep into B main, but they also had two players ready to defend that. And it's a force buy for G2.
Yeah, this is it. They want to just send it. G2, they often do this when they're on their attack side. I think it's just something of their philosophy, I suppose, of the game. They want to snowball the advantages on attack side. If they lose the pistol, they're often going to be forcing with the stingers. They're going to be sending it flying forwards now. Salvos try and pave a way onto this B site. Tucked close behind stairs. You can see that repeat coming through and that double dash over. One with the flash, Jawgemo. Being blinded up, darted up, but luckily he's got an escape mechanism. Straight back with the refract, and now we start flooding out. G2 spilling into the site, looking to see if they can gain an advantage, any sort of position onto it. Finesse, flashback forwards. There's a refight occurring, but no one's watching the back of the stairs, and these players are being picked to pieces. NRG, what was looking like such a great beginning to the map, might just be tilted. Swiftly spun straight back onto their heads here. Matta's just holding, hoping and praying that somebody will walk into that. The paranoia is good. Putting a squeeze onto this one. There's a critical kill to try and find Jonah P, but they still can't remove this guy. G2, just so picture perfect at playing off one another.
NRG had so many opportunities there to be able to try to find the kill that would have mattered. A flash forwards from Finesse, and he just missed the timing, and nobody watching Stairs as Leaf snuck all the way around behind. A tough one to lose just after they'd had such a great pistol.
And these are the problems that were manifesting map 1 for NRG. Getting into winning positions, being up, and honestly having a solid position, and then fumbling the team fighting a little bit. Not being in positions to trade each other out. Not considering where members of G2 could get to. And now they're stuck back down onto an eco, and G2 going fast over towards A to start here.
That previous round as well wasn't even one where Jawgemo had a huge level of impact with the Waylay. He dashed his way in over towards lane, got caught by a recon and had to leave. And essentially, they just dry swung out through the smokes, all leaving it through different exits so that they couldn't get trapped there. But that's one of those rounds where you see the Waylay not actually creating a ton of space, and they still found the value with the site exec.
That is part of the beauty of the Waylay, though, that even if that set play goes wrong, she's just going to refract all the way back towards the rest of the team, and you're just basically playing the same way you would if you had Jet no dash. And going for a re-exec there. You're not always sacrificing your Waylay for these set plays.
Matters on an island here. Might be able to at least take one head off. Not quite. Leaf is far too sharp. Look up early today. You see it, Thorns going up and overhead. This is G2. They've inserted Jawgemo for a late stage backstab. He's just tucked himself down into mid while the site take comes through. G2 will be able to get access to this one. It's left open and freely here for NRG, and here comes that backstab attempt. Swinging right from the side, a refract as well. Now Jawgemo is going to have to worry about his back here. Double dash, light speed all the way from the side, and Som just can't manage it. No way, man. Jawgemo is not slowing down.
Yeah, it literally looks like just bullying in mid from Jawgemo. And I love the way he plays this agent, because when he's not going for one of those fast plays, and he actually does slow down the round, you'll see rounds like that, where he gets embedded in mid, is going to put down his refract, and just contact all the way up. You see someone and you either kill them, or you're getting out immediately and escaping with that information. It's showing some of the depth that this agent has.
He's brought some of the attack side macro from when EG used to play Ascent in 2023 on their incredible run. That's the kind of stuff that Demon 1 used to do when they were, you know, doing incredible runs at Tokyo and winning champions. Now, Mada's picked up the operator here, and he's taking it over towards Cat, but it's actually Ethan that's going to be taking first contact in B main, without really trips or much utility to defend this site.
No, Ethan is going to be under potentially a tremendous amount of pressure, but refract used, pulled back. There will be no dash engaged from Jawgemo. Slow and steady.
Chance for Mada with the ult, maybe in mid.
He's waiting for it, an opportunity for the peak potentially with a jump spot. He's just missed the timing onto that one as smoke's going to be blooming up into his face, up through mid now, straight up the gut. The attempt and the approach now from G2, at least to see if they can pull some sort of reaction. Cutting it close, rebound off to the side, a flash as well. It's all picture perfect. Still the dart is a little bit even better, I would say, with Brock. Picks up the one, looking to try and slow this one down. He's going to need to be honest, because Ethan is on an island. Back to the wall, he's got Som to supplement and help him out as well with the reinforcements arriving, but the pause essentially called for. G2 just slowly trying to dissect this one. Smoke propped up, a bit of spam just removes one layer of it. They got to suspect that there could be an additional player, and Ethan's going to reveal himself anyway. Layers down an aid, just lands short and shy of the mark. They know he's there. It's just an inevitability. He's going to need a miracle, I think, to try and clean this one up, and the discipline of G2 is not going to allow it. Leaves it just down to the one now. Brock in an unwinnable situation in a 1v3. He's got to know what his players are, but VALORANT is just too much on point.
I think there's a lot that's going to be said at the end of this match, potentially, about NRG. Oh, didn't they play so badly today? If indeed this map ends up going the same way as the first. But I think the defensive setup here is actually pretty good. As you said, that recon dart from Brock, this smoke that they throw in the site as well, the teleport in from Som to support Ethan in backside. But the problem is G2 are just too disciplined against this kind of stuff. They don't just run into a smoke and die. They spam into it, catch Som, and isolate the 1v1s at the back of B. You're dealing with a different level of opponent here, and the normal defensive protocols aren't finding their value.
So G2 did it. Just feeling empowered right now. They've got all the momentum from the prior map. A win here. They know it if they close up this series nice and pretty. Now VALORANT's been slow to a crawl, it's all good. Jawgemo zipping us all way back, but a win here overall into the series will set G2 up with a lock in the playoffs for stage one. They're showing no signs of slowing down. NRG just trying to prime themselves up for this retake, as well as Util comes flying forwards. Jonah P, very aware of the angles, just trying to survive the spam coming his way. A flood out now in through Heaven as well. They're putting a squeeze onto variety of these players. Swinging out wide in front of Dice. NRG attempt to dissect up through onto the site once more. The Thorn's not broken in time, and Brock, oh my, has to step back a little bit, taking damage into the process, jumping through in your face. Shorty in play. Jawgemo is unleashed right now.
We talk a lot about how strong this composition is at going for execs, the set plays, but G2 do such a great job at their post plants in this map, always having layered utility, be it the rechargeables on Teo, the thorns from the buys to keep the retaking players from coming in. But besides all that, Jawgemo is almost always being put in positions where he is allowed to just go loose and dominate in these post plant positions. Another round where he does it there, and true to his average, 2.0 KD to start this map.
Potential for a bit of a fight here in B main at the start of this one. Not sure whether Finesse and Brock are looking to fight over it heavily, but they're certainly putting a bit of pressure here as Jorg tries to take the space. A reminder that they don't have the null command or the convergent paths, because they used them on an anti-eco, which was a bit of a weird decision, and there goes Valen at the start of the round.
Finally, it's Mada getting some value out of this operator. He's been holding on to this one, taking pot shots as well as a stray spam. That's meant to punish Mada onto this angle and line, and even go for another peek. Another chance, another pop at it. Jonah P slowly crawling up onto the line aside on the angle. Ethan looking to fill in the holes in the potential defensive setup here for NRG.
Mada's walked all the way through. He might have a timing onto Trent here, but they're so ready. Any position where you think a G2 player might get caught off guard, just turn and punish.
Potentially overzealous there here. Steel Guard is going to be overlapping, clearing most of the way. Opportunities for Ethan to potentially avoid. That's the refract, gets the info, knows that at least there's one there, but it's going to be fading away in the gun. Line straight back up. A rare mistake potentially here from G2, and Ethan's quick to capitalize. Chews up two of them, brings it into a 2v2 now for NRG into this retake. Best chance and odds that they've had in quite some time.
Jawgemo used his ult in the previous round. He's almost got another one up.
He's just missed the timing on that one. Trent might have just been spotted as well. Backing off into main. Question marks being cleared up for NRG when they're trying to play this retake.
The timing on this reflank is perfect from Jawgemo.
And he's already slipped straight behind. There seems to be that level of awareness potentially. No, Brock is just all over the place here, and he's none the wiser. None the wiser at all. Jawgemo.
He's a menace. Every single post plant. This guy going huge with multi-frags. Another 4K in Jaw.
He's
5 rounds in a row, 1 for G2 now.
10-3.
Yeah.
He's 10-3 after 6 rounds played. Just keeping up the same level of momentum from map 1, the same level of momentum every time he's played Waylay on this map. And I swear, he used his ult in the previous round and he has it online again immediately afterwards. How has he done that? That's ridiculous.
It's light work for a guy like Jorg, apparently. Reactions like that, and it's forced the timeout from NRG.
When we used to think about finesse-led teams, the NRGs of old, Optic, back when that was his thing, what we always prided them for was how good they were at, in chaotic mid-rounds, finding the perfect time to pause, slow things down, and be ready for the next fight. But I think G2 has really taken that on perfectly. When they're in their mid-rounds, they're almost always finding that moment to slow things down, commit together to one direction of a team fight, and punish NRG in these team fights that, for them, have been looking very chaotic all series.
Yeah, and we teed up this series really at the beginning of it, talking about the old guard versus the new guard ever so slightly. Listen, the torch passing happened about a year back, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking about ancient history at this point in terms of these finesse-led teams versus this team that used to be known as the guard. They used to be the bushy-tailed, big-eyed, looking so green on the big stage, but at this point, they are the experienced top dogs and they're showcasing it.
But Bren, this was supposed to be the year where NRG takes that back. This is where they were dominating in the offseason. They were supposed to win Kickoff. But thus far, it's been all about G2.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course they did. They won one round. Yeah, it's
well, here it is. Aggro fight from NRG, just trying to triple up and face this one. Overwhelmed with a bit of brute force in action, but oh my, you've been slow to a crawl. And here's the punish, capitalizing and collapsing onto these players. There's no hope anymore, NRG, man. Pack it up, hit the uninstall button.
You play fast, and G2 are just better in the chaos. He plays slow, and G2 find the better spots at pausing and controlling the chaos. It's tough out here. It is tough. It's got to feel brutal on the stage for NRG currently. Because no matter what they try, they are getting outclassed.
Come on, you guys don't believe in the Finesse Stinger 1v3?
The Finesse Stinger 1v3.
You want to tell the story? How does it begin? Well, he was wrapping around heaven, and he managed to ISO a fight in main.
I wouldn't even start with that one, Brad.
He ISO'd a fight in main and somehow just killed 2 players with a Stinger.
Well, he ran out of time and then got one exit kill and died.
Yeah, that could be it.
No, he actually did, though.
Okay, but
he
he has run out of time.
Yeah, no time, unfortunate.
Not exactly playing to his outs in this spot. 6-1. I mean, it's so brutal. This map should be extremely defense-sided. I think especially with the current meta, where we're seeing teams opt into a lot of double sentinel comps on this map, for example. You know, we have seen games where it looks impossible to win attack side rounds on Ascent. So the fact that G2 are already up 6-1.
Yeah, it's like we're rolling out a red carpet, to be honest.
God, yo.
Well, you heard it earlier from Josh RT. He wanted to come in and dominate this game and show not just to NRG, but to everybody else in Americas that you're not like us, little bro.
Yeah. I think that's a big part of it. Obviously, there's something to play for on top of it that we keep alluding to, but G2, a win in this series, locks them into playoffs of stage 1.
Mata back to the well in mid.
Trying to go for that P. This is hyper aggro as well. It needs to be that covering fire all throughout into mid. They've got a crossfire set up. So NRG ended up on top in terms of that fight here, and there's a Hunter's Fury offloaded. Dare I say desperation. Brock on again in the one tag here, and it's a TP pivot, open sight, open access in through B. Valid, watchful eye. Barely missing with the bullets.
It's a 3v4, but G2 have Annihilation. They have a Paranoia. They're in a position to still win this round.
Ethan's going to pop off that no command. It's going to emanate out. NRG are in a very good spot to try and win this one. As you mentioned, Armageddon's just an attempt to slow down what NRG are cooking up. There's no other map control really for G2. So got to see if they can punch a hole through the wall and find a way out of it themselves. And that's why they're doubled up, close quarters, just cutting it up. Tied onto these angles, just trying to make sure that it's quirky enough that NRG potentially are ready for them. Valen, almost not to be denied, but he's left it into the 1v1 in capable hands indeed. It's Trent against the world, and it's just pure utility that wins the day.
Oh, bro. A 4v3 advantage round again. I've seen too many of them at this point. There were a few like this on Lotus, at the beginning of the map especially, where NRG had the advantage. What is that?
That's how he gets the kill.
Yeah, well, what is that?
They're not playing a Sova. That's not a dart. That's just a spam in the right place.
Yeah, no, perplexed.
I mean, Trent looks perplexed at how he managed to kill Finesse there at the end. But I think Finesse, even if he had tried to force the fight, probably just didn't have the time to be able to win the round after that anyway. Trent's played that round wonderfully. And even with NRG having a good game plan at the start and the good trades off Mata, it just comes down to North.
You try and sell a story of hope for NRG. You think, oh, Mata's going to be good. Every time he's gotten the op, he's maximum gotten 1 kill before getting punished. You think, Sam's going to have another one of those games, anchoring things down on the Omen, but he's been punished in most of these rounds as well. 7-1 to this point. And here's Jaws. Ult coming in, split towards A.
Convergent pass, there's no escaping that one, buddy. Yep, jumping in, that's low grab mode for you, Finesse. Straight back to the spectator seat, maybe you can come from that angle. Brock sniffs it out, he knows where Jawgemo is pathing out. It's going to be coming to his team, but it doesn't matter if you already know where it is, because Som in a difficult position to try and fight his way out of. Doesn't know which way to look in a spot like that. This is just a complete dismantling from G2. Picking apart the defensive plays and setup of NRG. Rapidly going out towards heaven. That's given up a kill with Jaw going down. Mata, quick dash off to the side. Attempt to cut it up. Now a bit more disciplined, tempered and instilled really from these G2 players. I love that engagement. Mata trying to make the most out of this particular spot, dropping down. Ethan's even finding another one. It's one of the best opportunities that NRG have had in a long while. Tap out, forcing these players out wide. And now for the close quarters engagement, they've got to know exactly where he is. And Trent, barely alive, shredder health to his name, yet still wins out that fight, and time has been bought with a salvos. Don't tell me he wins this, Brock! Barely on it for time!
Yeah, he's got no time!
Oh, the circle's already shrinking. What a disaster for NRG.
I hate the way that Ethan played that. I absolutely hate it. You see Salvos coming out from wine, you know he's in his iPad. Swing him! Swing him! And Ethan's still jiggling the corner like he's worried about being killed by Trent. Like I understand at some point after you've lost 13-1 on map 1 and you're down 7-1, you're going to lose some confidence, but you have to find it in those spots. Because that's the kind of round.
All they do is play post-plant.
But they shouldn't have been allowed to play post-plant in that spot. They already had the retake going. You can apply pressure there. You suppress Trent early. You know he's on his salvos. Swing him. Just swing him, bro. Just swing him. And even if you don't swing him early, swing him when you see the salvos flying through the air. Just swing him. 8-1. It's utterly brutal.
That round proves to me this game is over. I'm going to be honest, because it's like, that is like, if your confidence is that cooked, you need to get it back. It's been 2 rounds won in the last 2 hours of gameplay. And G2 is just, they're chilling. You see it in every reaction cam. They're feeling good. They're a step ahead. And thus far, both timeouts this series, or all 3, that is, that we've seen from NRG, G2 has had the perfect change out of them and has won the round.
If we roll it back to the beginning of the round, though, there's an example of Jawgemo getting huge value out of the Waylay. The hinder and the conversion path, sorry, and then the saturate being thrown out to apply huge spread of hinder. Combine that with the paranoia, and he just had a free pick on the finesse. There was nothing finesse could do about that. So, huge amount of value there. I think sometimes it's just down to being Jawgemo. The fact that he gets crazy stats on this agent, but that was some Waylay value.
Yeah, and NRG have been learning to respect, I think, these A main fights that be going through. G2's util, a little bit too good for that. Giving up access to the orb as well. Now 1 away from that no command. A bit of a pause being called here for G2, looking for some sort of reaction of NRG. They hear the drone being used to clear out through mid. Oh, the smokes are going up though, and that means Paranoia knife out through the back as well. Som, good luck in this one, son. Puts down the anchoring smoke at least just in time. He's able to get that one down, and NRG just kind of biting from the sides, aren't they? Making it nice and difficult for G2 to get comfortable in this spot and position, but they do eventually clear out that pesky problem that was Som. Lay it down to the bottom. NRG just trying to flood their way straight back into this one as that cloudburst fades. Mada, already just a 3-piece, but dropped down in a moment's notice, and it leaves it all down to Finesse.
A 1v2 this time. And a bit more time to play with. The spike still yet to be planted.
Certainly more doable. But Leaf's been providing great artillery fire from A main this entire time. And they've got across. I mean, Leaf can essentially just bait the plant here and get the kill. Finesse trying to make sure that he isolates the 1v1s.
Just a stinger in hand though, and dropped to low enough HP that it's trivial for Leaf at the end of the day. 9-1 here. And it really does feel like, I mean, we're just rolling out the red carpet, aren't we? G2, here's your invite for the Stage 1 playoffs.
And any other team, you're in a 1v2, 9-0 up. You expect them to maybe make a little mistake, give an opportunity away. No, G2, they're holding off on the plant. They're setting up a bait. They have the perfect crossfire, and they don't let anything slip away. They want to give Josh RT that stomp he asked for.
Back to it.
Gathered all up towards B main again. With the KOL, with the Visal.
And it's really slapdash, really, from Ethan, I think, as well. There's a lot of util being used. That no command finally getting some usage. G2 have been slowed down into the choke point for now, but you're going to see it overlaying up with the ults. Now, they don't actually have a smoke. Finally, one for CT, but out towards the back of the site. How are they going to be dealing with this player? Playmaker, Ethan, could potentially do a lot here from that spot. Oh, and he does indeed! Nailed at his feet. Classic right-click in play, even going for another attempt. Go with things, dash in through the back. It's pure chaos, it's pure anarchy. But NRG, they forge a path out of it anyway.
Well, there's a huge round from Ethan. Throws down his fragment grenade and manages to classic right-click one of the other players. That'll do the business, I suppose. This is the same kind of defensive setup where last time, Som teleported, used his ultimate to get into backside to reinforce Ethan. And I like that defensive protocol. This time he doesn't go for it, but they just leave Ethan completely alone and he gets the job done.
A chance for a third 2 here. No command available. G2's money a little imperfect. A couple of stingers coming up for them.
They won 9 rounds in a row and they don't have money.
How's that happen? Oh, there it is, aggro play! Oh, the knives are going all over the bloody place, and hard committal onto the corner. Trent still gets a kill in the midst of it.
Maybe if G2 bought a couple less lattes, they'd have a purchase this round.
Yes. Stop going for the avocado toast millennials.
It's really not. Slight speed straight in through onto the site, using the Dykes as a bit of coverage as well. Fire into the back, and that's an ult as well, supplementing it. Reinforcements arriving, but it's Som essentially alone into this one. Damage done to Jawgemo, surely enough to try and claim that second kill, yet somehow Jawg finds it anyway. Squaring up to the fight, Leaf, he was eager to draw some blood out towards Market, even contemplating it. Shorty in hand! He can't keep getting away with this!
10-2.
He's giggling!
He's laughing at him.
over their corpses!
Of course he is. He's giggling and kicking his feet under the table. I mean,
Trent
these are
nearly
vile
gets
rounds.
a double with the classic in main. And then they get 2 with the shorty.
Yes, okay. All right.
It's brutal. It is brutal. This is bullying. What you're watching today, this is bullying in Valorant.
And it's 10-2, and we're going to be going to the half. And listen, we're going to see, how does this get wrapped up? Any guesses? Whatever, we'll just go
Call
to
the
the
bully
break. Go to the
hunters.
break. Go to the break.
We're going to Pearl.
Oh,
I don't think
we're
about
going
that.
to Pearl! And 10-2 currently for G2 in the second map, and it's really the only one they need to convert as well for a lock into the Stage 1 playoffs. Very clear path here for G2, our most dominant team in Americas. And yeah, it's all giggles, it's all laughs, obviously quite jovial.
This is their chance to prove it. They couldn't take home the trophy in Bangkok, but they are still the best team in Americas. They want to show the rest of the field of competition that close game against MIBR was just that, one close match, and they are still undefeated here.
I'm sure they're not even thinking about qualifying for Stage 1 playoffs. I'm sure that was never even in doubt for them. They're looking purely towards winning again in Americas, making it to Toronto, winning in Toronto potentially.
Especially for Jonah P, as a Canadian, having the opportunity to try and do that.
Quick contact caught here. Jawgemo's going to get his time to shine. Not like he's been lacking it so far in this map. Now he's had to bide his time for now, but there it is. Bullets finally flying forwards. A bit of util to supplement. Doesn't matter if you're lit up behind the screen right now. That is overwhelming presence. It's an onslaught delivered up on the platter. G2, it's 11-2. And you're going to see this one sail off into the sunset, I think, at this point.
They're in the walls at this point. They knew that was a mid-fight, had the entire team ready to go, and just sent NRG packing.
Finesse even tries to get a fast timing through B main to, like, you know, backstab the players in mid, hoping that G2 are going to be distracted by the rest of his team.
No.
By the time he arrives, everyone on NRG has already died, and Jonah P is already going back to deal with him. This is brutal. There was a disgusting comment in the chat. There was, there's as many casters as rounds that NRG have won. Which,
not quite one off, but we're getting there.
I mean, there's three. No, there's three others.
Threes. Okay, sorry, I wasn't considering the prior map.
You weren't thinking about the previous map as well.
Big picture.
No.
My bad. Yeah, that was 3.
All right, G2 better wrap this up. I don't know. Podcast might be too much for us.
NRG are forced here.
Yeah, they certainly have. Straight into the Owlor Jawgemo. Not much pushback from that one there. G2 are happy to play this one cautiously. Yes, you can close the door. Yes, you can get control of the site. They're very comfortable play retaking this spot. A lot of damage done to Jawgemo. He's got to be careful, cautious here. maybe been anticipating. Lovely flash peek. Som was ready for that one, primed on top of it. Ethan who was really setting this one up, but still flash, well, it does go both ways there, so Jawgemo's going to be peeking straight through onto that smoke, and that's a huge connection, underhanded, everybody blind as absolutely anything, and this post-plant positioning is dire, it's atrocious. They've been completely cut out of the site. Full stick, full peace of mind, and 12 rounds for G2.
3 players for NRG holding over towards tree when the plant is not for them.
Take a minute.
I think they might be out of it mentally, a little, perhaps. But yeah, they go for the force buy, and it doesn't quite work for them. Really nice flash peek here. This is the kind of thing that I think they were missing on Lotus, but yeah, rough.
Yeah, they're literally just getting caged off. One player's working back through Cat, and each and every one of these guys is just trying to desperately race to the spike.
I think they were trying to get off-site to kind of relieve the pressure that all of the flash and dash engage from Jorg and Jonah was going to be applying.
The issue is that G2 is always so good at identifying where to pivot when they're going for these retakes, saving utility for that fight into tree.
This really could be it here for G2. Rebounded a flash, I don't think it even stretched far enough to hit into tree there. Matagon exploring up through mid.
I think that might have been was that an old lineup that doesn't work with the flash changes coming through?
I'm not too sure.
I think I'm overthinking it.
I think I've got like 30 minutes on KO ever.
I mean, some of those KO lineups now will not work as well, absolutely, because some of them will pop too early now.
It's a good opener.
It's a great shot.
Yeah. It's Mata. Beheading at
Chris, check his PC, please look at his face. We can't believe it.
Ah, buddy, okay.
With an Aries.
Okay, Jorg's like, you know, I hit him 140. You could spam in the market, actually. You might be able to get a kill. And Trent's like, okay, all right, I'll do it. Now he's feeling the heat and the pressure, but it's being relieved immediately. That's Valin returning, ADS'd up, just having a field day here. It's like he's in the training range. See what kind of high score you can really get. 2 players against the world, backs against the wall here. Finesse is making the most of it. He's carved out a bit of a path into mid. Gonna be able to cause without evacuation, but hold on to the heels. Finesse, hold on. This guy's woken up, he's a bit angry now.
You cannot let Trent win this 1v2. It's Finesse and Som.
He's catching it, surely.
And Finesse is holding.
That's a pixel angle, Finesse.
And a pre-fire.
Trying to send it for him. Trent still has options to really play spoiler.
Uh-oh, they're walking into each other.
Yeah, the collapse might be occurring. He just needs to bide his time and wait for the right moment here. Oh my, that's snappy. And now Trent, oh no, he's closed the door! He's closed the door!
Oh,
but he broken anyway from his own salvos! He's trying to isolate this fight out. This is it for all the marbles for the 13th round on the board. Finesse rolls back the years with that one.
The warrior that NRG needs! He hits an insane 4K to drop the lead down to 42! Oh my god, I mean, what? It's a great round for
Stinger
Finesse.
collateral.
It's a great round for Finesse.
Yeah, he does roll back the years a little bit, but I think this game might still be over.
No, it's 1 round at a time, buddy.
It is 1 round at a time. It is.
But 9 of them on the attack side of Ascent with default comp.
We need to bring in another caster, by the way. They've got 4 rounds now.
That's true, yeah.
When do you want to hop in?
Where's the extra headset?
Yeah, we need 4. And then if they win another round, listen, at some point we're going to run out of people.
We're going to just start grabbing random people from the... Oh, you're working LTA today, right?
Yeah.
You know this Valorant a little
Gets
bit.
into overtime or don't know.
One suppressed.
They've dropped G2 down onto an eco, so... You know, honestly, it is these kind of rounds where you often see...
Yep, almost every time, actually.
Yeah, a team convert. Because sometimes the team just takes their foot off the gas, but I would assume that NRG is still going to be very focused in a round like this. Normally it's when the comeback's been going for a while.
Jawgemo has a Bucky on Catwalk.
I've never seen him get a good clip with a Bucky, though.
No,
never
not
on
on
Ascent.
Ascent.
No.
Not towards the A site either.
Never. Never. Flash up. Suppression as well. That drone's going to be catching onto Ethan. 45 seconds left. Now, if you play this too cautiously, you're going to run out of pivot options. You're going to be running into the close quarter weaponry that's being purchased. Brought up by G2. I'm getting worrying signs here.
The
gang.
Bucky's still there.
I'm really quite concerned.
Uh-oh.
I'm really quite concerned. I'm really quite concerned. Oh, it's the bait. It's the bait. Oh my god, he saturates himself in the process. Pick it back up. Go on. Family heirloom. Pass it around. It's in the will. And out through main. Okay, this is steadily being cleaned up. With only 15 seconds left. They're lucky that there's no more bodies to really contest with onto the site. Could have been a bit more dangerous.
One enemy remaining.
I'm looking for the ultimate snowball here. Not quite seeing it, but Ethan is one away from getting his online. So maybe NRG can work something around that. But Jorg is going from a Bucky to an operator, so taking things into a slightly different direction. And with how slowly NRG played that attack round, if they do something similar, I think it's going to allow a lot of opportunities for Jorg to be taking those kind of peaks with the op. Where's he taking it?
Starting over towards A this round.
In a passive spot, though.
It's a bit harder to be proactive with the waylay when you're opping. You have to basically take your timing to place down that gate.
Deep down of NRG, looking to take A main control. Smoke is not going to be obstructing. That's where Jorg is. That's their own main smoke from NRG.
Yeah, because you see the defensive one that cuts you off and threatens that the defenders could be getting into wine. So then NRG smoke A main, which allows you to clear out wine, and it kind of helps you take full A control. So it is a bit weird, but that's the kind of smoke meta at the moment in A on Ascent.
But you also use one of your smokes, a second in mid here. So you kind of have to keep the round a bit slower, wait for that to come back online, as they will work into mid.
Reactive.
So no command, flash rebounding, pop straight off here, Jonah P. Tucked tight to the corner, onto the wall as well. Off his contact, probably going to be some level of presence on the rest of his team. Yet shots are missing, going wide. It's a mad dash and spray down attempt here. This is Ethan and Vanessa doing a decent job dissecting at most of the site, but they're going into a different direction.
The ops here, Bren. Jawgemo has been weighted in this entire round.
Where are they going? Skipping a hop, making all the noise into the world. They've slowed it down to the right moments, but you only have 20 seconds to work with here. And Jawgemo with his op, as you mentioned. Wow, what a shot by Madder.
That's a blinder of a shot.
Gonna see that one back again into the replay. Nasty work. And for G2, just looking to see if you can save some of these guns. It was a full investment from them.
Quite a nice round there from NRG, but looked a little dangerous. I like the fact that they pushed the B players back into a defensive protocol and then pivoted A. It was very difficult, I think, for any of the people on B to go and help Jorg. Even with 20 seconds on the clock, it's actually pretty tough for one waylay to be able to shut everything down on that side.
Last player standing.
One of those guns will fall for G2. Should mean they're going to have some rough weaponry going into this next one. For NRG thus far, it has just been success in the way that they've been wanting to play this game the entire series. These very slow attack side mid-rounds. This Leaf gets to keep his gun as well.
And there goes the operator too. Mada's actually going to invest in a new attack op. Even though he, picked that one up off the floor. But clearly wants that as part of the game plan. And there's that shot he hit to be able to open things up. Good awareness.
Josh RT feels the stomp he was asking for, starting to slip a little bit here. He's going to call G2's first time out of the series.
At 12-5. Yeah, I mean, okay, fair enough.
Yep.
They're
Got
headed
two
into...
of them left.
Yeah, I mean, you've still got plenty of timeouts, but you're headed into an eco round, so you're not looking to really make the adjustment for round 18. You're looking to make it for round 19, probably. But you can definitely have some kind of set plan here to throw NRG off. And I think some level of early round aggression, some fight towards mid, for example, could really pose a problem for the way that NRG have been playing.
I think as well, some kind of like aggression more into the mid round, back towards mid, could be pretty effective. You have a lot of ideas with that with this double initiator waylay composition. But whenever you're in a position like this, 7 rounds to the good, with only one more needed to close out, it's just a matter of waiting for your ults to come online. Get that one big snowball round, close things out with 3-4 ults, and lock the game up.
And that is going to be the next rifle round. Jorg is going to have his ult online. Trent's going to have his ult as well. Presumably, we're not going to see Jonah P use it before then either, so they're going to have a massive ultimate advantage by the time these next rifles come online in round 19.
Looks like Jaw's saving for an operator in this next round as well. Keeping quite a few credits in the bank.
And a 4-player stack on A. With what looked there like a saturate lineup for an A reclear.
Looking for the fight Any sort of cheeky idea you can call and cook up here when you're on the half by weaker money, of course, for G2. Now, NRG will be slow going. Operator in the hands of Matter. It's going to be essentially enforced. Can't really go quick off the back of it. Looking to pick apart some portion of the map control here. It's going to be a drone as well. It's going to be setting Matter onto some sightlines if he chooses to take it.
But this stack has still stayed quiet.
This is it. Slight flick to the side. Bit of a reveal of the hands, to be honest, in terms of that one. And the, well, Dash just barely fading out. Matter was trying to make the most of this one. Still earns himself a kill in the process.
You see here that G2 are trying to re-clear towards the extremity portion of this split. So they're looking to try to fight into SOM if that was an A split in A main.
NRG heading back towards B. G2 knows it with this re-clear in main, and this is where the Vice util and the only hero rifle in G2's hands
30 seconds.
are waiting.
I'm really worried about this one. Valorant's got ult as well for a quick reinforcement over towards the side. Matter, though, decapitates Leaf, takes him out. Center of lane, big reveal in through the back as well. Trent, surely no longer for this world, and it's a lovely quick scope. Put a cap onto the round overall for NRG. G2. Not too many more chances left into this one for them. Valen and Jawgemo gonna have to bide their time and look forward to the next.
And if you were an NRG fan, you wanted to see Mata getting online. This rookie has been the bright spot in what has been a really rough year in Americas thus far for NRG. Proving his prowess that round. An opening kill with the op, shutting down that hero rifle that could have turned that round on its head as well.
He's online, but it feels like too little too late still. It's 12-6. It would have to be another 6 rounds of perfection in a row just to get it through to overtime. And this was perfection from Matter. He played, apart from one missed op shot, everything else was immaculate.
But this is the round that we were talking about now, where G2 is stacked up all but one of their ultimates. They have full weapons online. This is their best chance to close the game.
No contention here from G2 early, not into main. Just a stray shot popped off here by Matter. Looking to gain control of this one, but a later knife sent flying, and potentially the refire. Here it is, Salvo's into the flash, looking to hopefully catch a player, but NRG evacuate in time. Gearing themselves up to fight tooth and nail over this space once more. Stealth drone going to be broken arm again, primed. Which direction is this one going to be going into? See if this one is offloaded.
NRG again letting the clock drain down, and G2 with Jawgemo positioned deep in mid. He'll find a kill there onto Ethan.
God, was Ethan going for a jump spot there?
It looked like it potentially, just from the look of it.
Yeah,
map, we'll have to see.
That might have been a mad shot that Joe just hit on his old colleague from EG. That's going to make things a lot more difficult. And the time is starting to tick down. I think you've got to go into an A split here, but they've got to be so worried about the op still being in this area.
20 seconds.
And all of these ults are so good for either retake or plant denial.
Where are you going? 35 left. This peak needs to be perfect. Finesse lucky that he's still alive into that one.
30 seconds left.
Falling for the evacuation play. It's 100's Fury. This is desperation at its core from NRG. Survival is what they're counting on, and it's all over the bloody place. 20 seconds left. TP's all over the place now. This is SOM, not with a hard committal, just looking for that information and a paranoia to sweep forwards. This is the guy with the spike. Armageddon layering down in front of him. He's got the
10
spike.
seconds.
He needs to plant this. It's in no man's land, and it's done. It's a wrap. It's curtains drop. Fade to black. G2 are going to playoffs no matter what.
What a way to end!
Defenders
Brock
win.
with 3, but pure consolation kills. We knew it was going to be difficult for NRG to navigate that round. Way too many ults in play, but the attack side call-in just getting absolutely scrambled in that final moment. They couldn't figure out what the best call was. And a wry smile from Mata there. He doesn't perform badly in map 2, but they had no chance today.
They did not.
You can't look back at that as an NRG player or fan and think, well, you know, we had a shot, we just squandered it. You didn't have a hope.
No, they really didn't, and that's exactly what G2 wanted to show today.